How's it going, everyone? The Trout91 here for a Gnasher Consistency 101 video. I've seen a number of comments lately about how the Gnasher is very inconsistent, and I thought I'd try and help to make that gun a little bit more practical for those struggling. The first thing you've got to take into consideration is the distance. Your shotgun rounds are made up of small slugs. The shotgun's damage drops off the further away the slugs travel. The accuracy of these slugs also decreases over distance as the spread increases the further they travel. Initially, they will start very tight and get more spread out the further they go. If you find you're getting the shots off first and still dying, the likelihood is that your shots weren't effective due to the distance, and your opponents were far more lethal because they've got that bit closer. I would recommend potentially holding onto your shots before firing them and make sure you're as close as you can get before firing away and blowing their brains out. The second factor is active reload. Active reloads increase the damage on your shotgun considerably. It can make your Gnasher a cannon and decimate entire teams in seconds. An active reload gives you this damage boost and can be performed when you have a full white bar on your gun. If your opponents are sponging shots but are effortlessly blowing you away, actives are probably making the difference. If you don't have actives, remember to activate them whenever possible. If you don't have the time, play more defensively. Keep your distance and assume they do have actives. It's probably why they're trying to get so close to you to begin with, and you simply won't win that gunfight. It can also help combat the distance and lag between your enemy. The third thing to consider is the lag. Let's be honest, the connection and gears can be hit and miss at times. They've come a long way since the first installment of the series, but sometimes lag can play a big factor in whether you're hitting your shots or missing them. Sometimes shots just won't land because what you see is different to the host. If you're finding the game is a bit laggy and you're not hitting your shots, play more cautiously. Try to lead your shots if necessary to combat the lag and anticipate your opponent's movement. I also find that active reloads do help overcome the lag in the game. Next up is aiming down your sights and hip firing. Both methods of firing your shotgun have their pros and cons. When you're ADSing, your shots are far more accurate but slow you down. When you're hip firing, your shots are less accurate but keeps you mobile. If you're finding you're ADSing but your shots aren't doing as much damage as you'd hope, get closer and try hip firing. If your hip firing doesn't seem to be working, try staying back and ADSing a bit more. Try aiming for the chest. This is where the damage dealt is the highest and one of the easiest parts of the body to hit, as it has a big surface area. I would also recommend getting active reloads to make them more consistent at both methods of shooting. And finally is character models. One thing you have to bear in mind is the character models are the extent of the hit detection you experience. Meaning if your shots aren't hitting the model, you're not getting hit detection. One thing I mentioned in my Character Model 101 video is the female characters have a smaller hitbox than the male characters because they are smaller models. If you're finding your shots aren't hitting, it could be down to this, and if you would like to benefit from it and potentially even up the playing field, it's worth giving a go yourself. If you come up against a character model, try aiming your gun a little bit more than you would normally. Now there is kind of a last thing to bear in mind that could settle the score once and for all, and that is simply the fact that maybe you're not actually hitting them at all, and maybe you are missing your shots altogether. I know it's hard to fathom that you, of all people, could potentially miss your shots. I mean, after all, you're a god, aren't you? It happens to the best of us. Even myself, I'll just have moments where I'm like, whoa, how have I not killed him? It does happen. You're human. It's okay to miss occasionally. I hope this video has helped you out. If you did like the video, do drop a like rating. Make sure you leave a comment, let me know if you want to see any more videos in the future, and subscribe if you do want to see any more videos in the future. And I'll see you later. Peace out.